Hello everyone and welcome to Past the Post. This is Michael Adolphson and it's a very exciting weekend, the first weekend of the 2024-2025 UAE racing season. We start things off at Abu Dhabi Equestrian Club in the capital with the Al Dhafra, a maiden for 3-year-old UAE-bred purebred Arabians worth $66,000 and going 6 furlongs. It was more of the same of what we've seen in the past as Khalid Khalifa Al Nabuda, a multi-champion owner, got things started early, this time with Marcelino Rodriguez and Ernst Hertel's AFS Tatar. Final margin of victory was a half length over Radan and Rofan.
Up in front, though, on the outside, it's Rofan AW, goes up to AF Astita. The inside, ES Schnaf, starting to get on level terms here, working through as well. Raiden AW, it's AF Astita, getting a little wayward. Queens Bay works through. Rowan through the middle, though, late in the race was Raiden AW, AF Astita. AF Astita's going to hold on. AF Astita goes on to win for Marcelino Rodriguez. Yes Racing takes second and third.
Second race of the evening was a handicap for 0 to 75 purebred Arabians over 7 furlongs. RB Heads Up gave Musaba El Maheri and new stable jockey Danny Tudhope their first wins of the season, winning by just under 2 lengths over Al Fahem and Barik, both from Khalid Khalifa Al Nabuda.
As AF Al Fahim comes into the straight, into second now with AF Barik the inside starting to present. RB Heads Up, Dart into third. Up on the inside, it's AF Barik the leader. Halfway down the straight here, RB Heads Up starting to really present here on the outside. RB Heads Up gets the better of them late. RB Heads Up streaming clear here in the late stages, makes it 2.5 lengths here in the final part, and RB Heads Up goes on to win. Photo second, AF Al Fahim maybe just over AF Barik.
Third race of the night was a maiden for 4-year-olds and up purebred Arabians, worth $66,000 and traveling 1,600 meters. Sandro Peva, who ended his season well last season, got his first win of the season, this time for Abdil Mushahi in his second season as a trainer. Sol Mio Almari proved best here by just over a length over Combat Hippolyte. Aziza was back in third, with McNoon and Richie Mellon in fourth.
As they make their way into the straight, Sandstorm AA, it'd be an almighty effort if it was able to win here, the filly. Deeper out on the course, coursing into it, Aziza. Still the leader was Maestro. Rebel Deloop there, and McNoon trying to work through the inside, gets the gap now. Rebel Deloop, deeper out, was Solmio El Mori. Combat Hyperlight as well, coming from back in the field. Solmio El Mori will get the win. Combat Hyperlight second, Photo third. I'd just say Aziza has knocked off McNoon there for that position.
The fourth race of the evening was a handicap 0 to 85 for 4-year-olds and up UAE-bred purebred Arabians over 2,200 meters, the classic distance at Abu Dhabi. And Al Ajban got its first win of the season in the process, and they always strike early, it seems, this time giving Danny Tudhope his second win of the night for trainer Abdallah Hamadi. Tahan Al Wathba was in second with Mukalad back in third.
As they start to come into the straight, Rawad Al Reef a narrow leader, Taja the inside, Tahan Al Wathba coursing a little wide but coming down the centre of the course and lifting big time here under Jules Mobian. Next in the field was Mukalad, he's come from last. In the front now is Rawad Al Reef from Tahan Al Wathba. Rawad Al Reef holding them at bay. Rawad Al Reef goes on to win. That's a double for Tudhope. Wins by a length and a half. Tahan Al Wathba second. Third across was Mukalad. Good run from last. Then came Taja.
Fifth race of the evening was a conditions affair for 5-year-olds and up, over 2,200 meters and full of lots of stakes types. This time Suni Deloop, who had a nice season last year, got it done for Hamid Al-Marar and Bernardo Pinheiro. Azrad Athba and Bahwan finished in second and third, while multiple Group 1 performer Joe Star was back and fourth, along with Mujib, himself a classy sort. We may see a few of these in top-class form again, including the Jewel Crown in December.
Barwan hits the lead. Joe Star, Sonny Deloop and Azrad Athbar coming with a good run. Down the straight they go. It's Joe Star the leader from Barwan working through Mujib. Sonny Deloop, Azrad Athbar down the outside picking up. Sonny Deloop from Azrad Athbar. Sonny Deloop the narrow leader. Azrad Athbar still trying to get up on level terms here. Sonny Deloop, Azrad Athbar. Sonny Deloop, Azrad Athbar second. Third across Barwan, Joe Star fourth from Mualemi Mujib.
Thoroughbreds were in action in a handicap 0 to 100 over 1,400 meters. And Kalbarg and Al-Janoub looked very tough to beat here for Michael Costed, but beat indeed they were, as Mountbatten from Musab Al-Mahari and Danny Tudhope gave him a treble on the night. The 90-rated sort won by just over 2 lengths and looks one to have a possibly big season ahead of him.
So down the straight they come here with 400 metres left to go, and Mountbatten takes over. Kalbarg was next making chase for Sense of Wisdom. Al-Janoub starts to try and get out for a run here, along with Tamburrah to the inside, but Mountbatten's giving them a clean pair of heels at the moment. Kalbarg trying to reel in the margin here late, but Mountbatten has got clear at the moment. Mountbatten from Al-Janoub flying late with Kalbarg, but it'll be all Mountbatten. Mountbatten goes on and wins from the front. Beats home. Photo finish. Kalbarg and Al-Janoub crossed over together.
And the nightcap on opening night would have Michael Costa get it done after a bit of a disappointment in the previous race, this time with Tab Deal. The US bred sort had James Orman in the saddle all the way from Australia. Al Pastor was back in second, just under 3 lengths behind him, with Algernon back in third.
As they make their way into the straight here, Al Pastor from Tab Deal the inside. Algernon sticks on. Tab Deal found the gap here. Tab Deal extending here. Tab Deal into the final furlong will burn away. Tab Deal for James Orman picks up his first winner for the holiday. Michael Costa on the board in the meeting number 1. 3 lengths on the line. Beats home Al Pastor, Algernon. Wafate ran on bravely into 4.
The second meeting of opening week was over at Sharjah, which only has a handful of meetings throughout the season, but they were always a thrill to watch. The Sunday afternoon kicked things off at 2:30, where Tahir Al-Wathba and Barari Al-Wathba went 1-2 for the Wathba team. AF Tajni was back in third. Jules Mobian got his first win of the season, as did Eric Lamartinelle. The final margin of victory was just under a length.
It's Barari Al-Wathba, the leader. AF Tajni is continuing to close. And look at Tahir Al-Wathba. Tahir Al-Wathba coming up on the far side. Yas racing 1 and 2, battling it down to the line. And it'll be all Tahir Al-Wathba. Tahir Al-Wathba, 3/4 of a length there on the line. Beats home Barari Al-Wathba in second, who was game. AF Tajni third.
The speedsters were up next in a 1,000-meter maiden for 3-year-old UAE-bred purebred Arabians. Al-Tahan won well here for Hamad Al-Murar and Bernard Beneo, giving them a second team-up win of the weekend. Dafur was in second with Shamail Benuna in third.
AH Tahan, he's had to do a lot of work here after the tardy getaway, but he leads a very comfortable margin here now under Bernardo Pinheiro for Hamad Al-Murar. 2 lengths now on Dafa AW. Up the near side, Shamail Bainuna. AH Tahan still going strong, getting a little weary in the late stages, but AH Tahan, he looks smart at the trials, and he's replicated it on race day. 2.5 lengths here from Dafa AW. Next over Shamail Bainuna. Membu Darby El Haza was 4th.
A 0 to 65 handicap followed for 4-year-old and up purebred Arabians over the dirt of 2,000 meters. Idris Desarnets gave Sandra Pava and Adil Mushahi their second team-up win of the opening weekend. Optimism was back in second under Tanny Tudhope, just under a quarter length. Then it was a big gap back to Mali in third.
It's Idris Desarnets into the straight, though. Could have been a good move here by Sandro Paiva. Adil Muchachi looking for a race-to-race weekend double here. The outside, though, presenting is Optimism. Optimism, the outside, goes with Idris Desarnets, who's game to fight on the inside. Idris Desarnets, a neck to Optimism. Idris Desarnets goes on to score. Muchachi with a weekend double.
Fourth race of opening weekend at Sharjah was the 0 to 65 4-year-old and up UAE-bred purebred Arabian sorts over 1,700 meters. Yurdak won well here for Irfan Alahi and Kays Al-Busaidi. Zahia Al-Wathwa was back in second under Jules Mobian with Al Tarif and Richie Mullen back in third. The final margin of victory was 1.5 lengths.
Up in front, it is Jap Yardak takes over the lead here. Jap Ward sticking on. Next in the field here, trying to run on from the back of the field, was AF Al-Tarif under Richie Mullen, starting to present here now, but it is up in front, Jap Yardak, a narrow leader. Zahir Al-Wathba trying to close along with AF Al-Tarif. Jap Yardak, Darlu out with it, it's all too late, but Jap Yardak will go on and win. Jap Yardak gets the win from Zahir Al-Wathba. Third across was AF Al-Tarif. Dalu got going when it was all too late.
The 0 to 94-year-old Nut Pure Arabian handicap followed over the same 1,700 meters. This one saw Sa'ari give Ray Dawson and Majid Al-Johori their first wins of the season. Back in second was Ty Gaucher and Ernst Hertel with Afam, with Octave in third. The final margin of victory was a half length.
Homeward bound they come. Sari, the leader, up on the outside, putting it there to AF Farm. The inside sticking on as well was Octave. Octave trying to level up here again, but up on the outside, Sari going away with AF Farm in the late stages. And down the outside from last ozone layer, it's AF Farm hitting the lead. Sari, when it's all too late, looking to dive, and he'll get it. Sari goes over the top to win. Beats home AF Farm.
And the final race of the weekend and day at Sharjah, as it often is a thoroughbred affair, handicapped 0 to 70, over 1,200 meters on the straight, and full of sprinters looking to improve their rating. Al Sahib gave K.A. Saboon his first win of the season, as did Saif Al Balushi. Al Karim was back in second for Osama Rafai, and Yukon Star was third for Musaba Al Mahari. The final margin of victory was 1 length.
Great news in Yukon Star. They pair off at the moment. Klimt Street trying to level up here along with Pure Ambition. Ironside really struggling to eat into the ground here at the moment. It's up on the outside. Great news who's going to Yukon Star. Yukon Star, the narrow leader. Great news drops away. Klimt Street, Al Sahib the threat. Yukon Star, Al Sahib getting out of the ground here when it's all too late. Al Sahib Akaram. Al Sahib Akaram late. Claims great Yukon Star, Al Sahib, Akaram and Yukon Star our top three.
Now let's look at some international action. We head over to Doncaster, which had its big day of Futurity Trophy Day. But the first stop, as far as stakes goes, was the William Hill Prospect Stakes, a listed affair that saw La Balota, bred by Tallyho Stud, get it done under Oisin Murphy for John Ryan. The final margin of victory was a neck over Diego Ventura and Bounty, the 5-4 favorite, disappointing in third.
They've got 2.5 furlongs to go. The free-going La Balota is stringing the field out here. It's going to be a fairly lengthy last quarter mile. They're nudging 40 miles an hour. La Balota with Diego Ventura giving chase. Now Bounty is asked to close, moves up into third. Further back to Fast Track Harry. La Balota passes the furlong 3 lengths clear. Diego Ventura and Bounty are inching closer. La Balota just looking a little lonely. Diego Ventura is bearing down on him. La Balota needs the line, gets it. La Balota wins the William Hill Prospect Stakes over Diego Ventura, Bounty, Francisco's piece.
Next up, we had the William Hill Futurity Trophy, the last Group 1 of the season in the UK, and one of the biggest races of the year for 2-year-olds. And it was a blinder, as Hot As Hell and Delacroix battled down the straight, with Hot As Hell 11-1 upsetting the 15-8 favorite. Shane Foley was aboard for trainer Jessica Harrington. Delacroix, a son of Dobawi and Tappan, champions themselves, is surely going to be one to watch out of this as well.
Down inside the final 3 furlongs. Seaplane on the left is being joined by the strong travelling Delacroix. Now Moore shakes the reins at his mount, asks him for more. Hot As Hell between the two is battling on. Anno Domini now moving up into 4th from the rear. Has got 3 lengths to make up. Delacroix moves on with a furlong and a half to go. Hot As Hell, though, is sticking with him, fighting hard. The 2 Irish train runners fighting out the finish at the moment. They're drawing clear. Hot As Hell on the near side of Delacroix. Delacroix just wandering off a true line, leaning into his rival. Hot As Hell. Delacroix coming back for more. A heads up, heads down finish.
Over at Newbury on Saturday, we had some stakes affairs, including the Highclere Thoroughbred Racing Stakes, registered as the Radley Stakes, and a listed affair for fillies over 7 furlongs. Game of Thrones fans will be surely happy to see Ilaria Sand win at 14-1 over Sakara Sands and Sea to Sky. David Egan got the win for Ollie Sangster and Dubai Regular's Cool Silk partnership.
2 furlongs to go. Sakara Sands and Rob Hornby to Ilaria Sam, David Egan, white jacket and purple cap. Sea to Sky on the right, white sleeves and white cap as well has come into it. This 2 will fight it out. The others are very tired and very well beaten off. Ilaria Sam with a purple cap, the blue and white Sakara Sands. This pair together, drawing clear from Sea to Sky. They're into the closing stages now, and Ilaria Sam has the advantage. She's about a length ahead to Sakara Sands in second place, and Ilaria Ilaria Sand is going on to win. Second place, Sakara Sams. A third position behind those was Sea to Sky.
The Grade 3 Horse Hill Stakes followed over the 7 furlongs on that heavy going, and Make You Smile smiled all the way through the heavy going for Harry Davies and Hugo Palmer, getting it done over favourite Yarug, with Star Anthem back in third.
But Yarug is still in front here as they come to the 2 marker. From Benevento in the violet colours in second. Star Anthem is then closing with a white stripe on his face nearest to the stands. Bob Marley behind those, but this Yarug is still in front here. Tom Marquand in the yellow jacket heads down to the final furlong. Now Star Anthem, though, is closing, and also Make You Smile beginning to run on from the back of the field. Yarug has the advantage inside the last 100 yards. Star Anthem and Make You Smile are both coming at him, though. Nearest to us, Make You Smile comes to join Yarug. It's tight between them. Star Anthem, Benevento and Mirabeau are next.
The Group 3 St. Simon Stakes followed, where fan favourite Max Vega returned to the winner's enclosure at a hefty 22-1 for Rob Hornby and Rafe Beckett, with Al-Azi the 5-6 favourite in fourth. The final margin of victory was a length and a quarter.
Now Danielle comes through to join Max Vega in front. Alaz is pulled out wide for his challenge. Godwindows is weakened behind those. They head down to the last furlong. And in the red cap, the black and white jacket, Danielle with Max Vega fighting back against the running rail. Alaz is 2 lengths behind him in third place and struggling to pick up. And Max Vega, will he win it again? Max Vega and Rob Hornby showing in front and are beating off the challenge of Danielle. It's a second win in the race for Max Vega to Danielle. Alazi behind these.
Let's head over to Ireland, where on Friday at Dundalk we had the William Hill Top Price Guarantee Mercury Stakes, a Group 3 affair over a swift 5 furlongs that saw Ostraka shock him at 66-1, beating out Powerful Nation and joint favourite Electric Storm back in third. James Ryan was aboard for Daniel James Murphy.
Start of Lady M coming there to tackle T-Spirit, between them Valiant Force. Al-Bashir down the stand side in the headgear. Ostraka still there out in the centre in black and yellow colours. Powerful Nation behind them as they head inside the final furlong. Ostraka out in the centre of the course. Al-Bashir, Valiant Force challenging between them. Powerful Nation coming home. Electric Storm the far side. Ostraka the narrow leader, and Ostraka wins it. Danny Murphy does it again. Ostraka close for second.
And over in France, we had the last big meeting of the year. It was heavy going as expected at Saint-Cloud, kicking off with the Prix-Perth, where Alcantor backed up 2-1 favoritism for Andre Fabre and Alexis Bouchan. The final margin of victory was a facile 4 lengths over Sarona and Johan.
Down towards the 500, and has got a few of them working already. Alcantor by some 3 lengths to Sarona in second. Johan makes ground on the outside, but Alcantor seems to be still travelling very strongly indeed, leading by 4 lengths. Johan's winning the battle for second position, while Goddess is finishing off on the outside, but it's Alcantor still 5 or 6 lengths clear, and this really is a walk in the park for Alcantor, who's finally opened his season's account very, very easily indeed. Alcantor the winner, to Sarona, who gets through for second, Johan third, and Thoras fourth, and finishing fifth.
Next up was the first Group 1 of the afternoon, the 10-furlong Criterium de Saint-Cloud for 2-year-old colts and fillies. And Tennessee Stud at 3-5 heavy favoritism beat out Greenstorm and Harvey, giving Dylan McMonagle and Joseph O'Brien a rightful ship over.
Greenstorm leads past the 500 and shows by 3 lengths. Tennessee Stud now under pressure to try and challenge, and it's Greenstorm still by 2. Tennessee Stud on the near side is getting closer, and Greenstorm still by 2 lengths isn't stopping. Tennessee Stud is still trying on the near side down to the 200. Greenstorm on the inner. Tennessee Stud is getting there all the time, and Tennessee Stud now comes through and goes to the front, and it's Tennessee Stud who's worn down Greenstorm. Tennessee Stud goes on to victory. Greenstorm second, and Harvey never close to third.
The Criterium International, also Group 1, but this time over a mile, saw a horse that we should definitely keep our eyes on, with Ryan Moore, Aidan O'Brien, and Ballydoyle's Twain, beating the rest of them, including Mount Kilimanjaro and Apples and Bananas, with a final margin of victory, a length and a quarter, but it could have been more.
Down towards the 500 he goes, And Aurélien Lemaitre just has a little look round. Mount Kilimanjaro now moves through into second position as Maranoa Charlie continues to lead, but the others are getting closer. Here's Twain on the outside. Maranoa Charlie's found nothing under pressure. Twain's gone storming past Mount Kilimanjaro towards the inside. It's Twain leading from Mount Kilimanjaro. They're chased by Apples and Blossoms. It's a 1-2-3 for the O'Brien family, and Twain going from Meydan to Group 1 is 2.5 lengths clear, and Twain and Ryan Moore has won it from Mount Kilimanjaro in second, and back in third was Apples and Bananas.
The Group 3 Pre-Belle de Nuit. Over a mile and 6 furlongs of heavy going, it was a testing affair that saw Entrancement, the 13-10 favourite, beat out Panthera. The Shipman is trained by David Minussier with Oisin Murphy in the saddle. Jordana was back in third, with the final margin of victory being a short neck.
And Pantera comes through, picks up the lead. Immediately Entrancement goes in pursuit, and it's Pantera who has the lead from Entrancement in second. Trying to run on the outside is Jordanella, but Pantera still out in front by 2. Entrancement and Jordanella trying to attack, but Pantera has the lead. Stablemate Entrancement is bearing down on the near side. It's Pantera and Entrancement in the run towards the line. Entrancement is wearing down stablemate Pantera, who's fighting back. It's going to be tight at the line. Entrancement and Pantera. Entrancement's won it from Pantera second.
And lastly, as far as the group action in France, is the Group 1 Prix Royal Oak.
Trushan turns in with the lead. Al Karim tries to apply the pressure to that one. Now on the near side, Savannah's Knight's got a clean run through. Double Major on the inner, and Double Major has now come through and picked it up with Savannah's Knight down the centre. Trushan still battling away, but it's Double Major who has the lead. And on the near side, Savannah's Knight and Double Major got first run. Savannah's Knight is in pursuit and is wearing this one down. Double Major and Savannah's Knight and Trushan on the inner. Double Major still in front for Maxime Guillon, and Double Major goes on to victory. Double Major's won it very, very close behind. A photo between Savannah's Knight near side and Trushan on the inner, with Al Karim and Grosvenor Square further behind.
Let's head over to Australia for the biggest weight for age 10 furlong grass race of the year, the Cox Plate. Godolphin had a big chance in here with young upstart broadsiding, but he was not quite good enough as Via Sistina won impressively, dominating this field, including Prognosis, a proper Group 1 horse behind her. The win was made even more significant as she had dropped her jockey in a dramatic turn of affairs in a gallop earlier in the week.
Via Sistina now pushes the button on the outside and goes up and takes the lead. Via Sistina, 300 metres to go, puts up 2 lengths. Prognosis, Docklands, Mr. Brightside, and then came Royal Patronage. But Via Sistina storms away with 150 to go. She's 5 lengths in front. It's going to be a Cox Plate round, and James McDonald, a century of the very best. Via Sistina by 7 lengths. Second, Prognosis.
Also in Australia, we had the Moet and Chandon Spring Champion Stakes over at Randwick. That was quite formidable, as El Costello, the 2-1 favourite, beat out Heinlein, the 4-1 second choice, by a neck at the wire. Joshua Parr was aboard for Anthony Cummings.
El Costello chimes in 3 wide, 2 further back to Henline, 5 further back to Swift Falcon, who's making good headway. El Costello takes the lead inside the 300 with Henline closing in, still several lengths away to Swift Falcon. It's El Costello and Henline head and head on the inside. El Costello from Henline. It's going to be a fight to the end. El Costello's lifting from Henline, and El Costello won the Spring Champion, fending off Henline, and Firm Agreement ran through into third.
Now let's head over to the United States, at Belmont at the Big A, which had a few graded stakes on Saturday. First up, the sprinters in the Grade 3 Bold Ruler Stakes, named after the iconic sire himself. Joel Rosario and Runnin' Son of a Gun got this one done at 16-1, as the Son of Gun runner was just too good for My Buddy B in the end.
It's top Gunner and My Buddy B 1-2 as they reach the top of the stretch. Running Son of a Gun is in pursuit and moves towards the outside. My Buddy B is trying to put away Top Gunner. Running Son of a Gun is catching him with every stride. It's My Buddy B who's in front, but here comes Running Son of a Gun and Joel Rosario to the outside. Running Son of a Gun, but a very game My Buddy B is repelling the challenge so far. Two noses down to the line. It's a photo finish. Give it to My Buddy B. My Buddy B held off Running Son of a Gun.
Milers had a chance next up in the Grade 3 49er Stakes. Coastal Mission, well supported at 9-2 on the market, beat out Nelson Avenue and win it. The final margin was a length, as Godolphin's Jefferson Street failed at 12-5.
It's Nelson Avenue who turns him for home, is in front. Film Star is still right there. Repo Rock's looking for the seam. Coastal Mission's got some momentum, and Coastal Mission with that clear running path. It's Coastal Mission to the outside of a very game Nelson Avenue, who's still there. Nelson Avenue with a head in front. Coastal Mission trying to push on by. Win it with a late rally inside the final 16th. It's now Coastal Mission. Coastal Mission will win the 49er. Coastal Mission over Nelson Avenue, win it, and Repo Rocks in 1 minute 36 seconds flat.
Godolphin would not go home empty-handed, as Tarifa was a gritty winner of the Grade 2 Mother Goose Stakes. Next up, Gunsong flew along for second, as Pretty Anna was third. Flavian Pratt was aboard for Brad Cox.
Gunsong is looming to the outside, and Gunsong has not been asked yet. In hand, Gunsong, John Velasquez with a quick look back. Tarifa's all into the inside. Gunsong is ready to pounce, and these two now shoulder to shoulder. Tarifa's got more. They're approaching that final furlong. Tarifa battles on. Gunsong has not pushed by yet. A very stubborn foe towards the inside. It's Tarifa and Gunsong. A final 16th, and Pretty Anna has emerged as well. Tarifa to the inside. Gunsong, Tarifa game, and wins the Mother Goose. Tarifa wins the Mother Goose over Gunsong. Pretty Anna was flying from the back. Final running time, 1 minute 50-3.
Now let's look at what's coming up this week, as we have a blend of local racing as well as international affairs. Al-Ain kicks off their first race of the season on November 1st. The Breeders' Cup over at Del Mar in San Diego, USA will happen on November 1st and 2nd. Jebel Ali has its first races of the year on Saturday, November 2nd, while Abu Dhabi returns to action on Sunday, November 3rd. On Tuesday, November 5th, the Melbourne Cup will also take place, the biggest staying race in the world in Australia. We thank you for tuning in and hope to see you here next week on Past the Post. Let's have a great UAE season. We look forward to seeing everybody out at the races.